Thanks, guys.
And then we do the little snippy snip finger things, and I write down the time so that I can edit where the questions begin and end. Chat was very lively tonight. A lot of people coming to see you and say hi.
What did Paige say to get her messages deleted? I bet it was something funny.
It was somebody got somebody. It looks like it was a link. So I have links turned off so we don't have spam bots coming in saying, "Hey, go look at this dirty site" or whatever.
I bet it was for the avatar. She's one of my moderators.
So yeah, and we did post that earlier, and my moderator picked it up and reposted the Facebook link. So it's been posted a couple times. And
then Lateralis is in here. He's Depweg. He's the real Depweg.
Nice. Welcome, Deppyweg. So we do have some questions and comments that did pop up, and there was a lot of stuff. So my mods have been pulling the questions and some of the comments aside. What kind of research do you do, and how long do you spend researching before beginning a book?
Jesus Christ.
And guys, feel free to ask your questions. We will get to them.
Man. Okay, so for book 8, Crack the Sky, man, I did months of research because it involves a black hole. Okay. And John traveling through it. So I had to, and for me, I could have just as easily said, and then a spell was cast on him so he could pass through the black, whatever.
Right. Deus Ex Machina it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Ex Machina, where the robot comes in and just fixes everything for you. That's a common trope that I'm not going to do. So I get why some people do it, because it did take me, the book took longer to come out, but I can confidently say that it is as theoretically accurate as possible. No one's going to poke holes in it, I don't think, because I did so much research on black holes, Klein bottles, time travel, things like that. And same thing with Sheol. I came up with my own rules for Sheol because not many people had done that. And so I had a lot of fun with that one too. But, doing research to figure out, really there's a lot of theoretical physics stuff, man. Like that broke my brain. But at the same time, it's stuff I like. So whatever, I had fun. So I do a lot of research for this one, for the Soul series. Kyle Hill,
I don't.
the Because Science guy. He looks like he's blonde, good looking dude, long hair, really, really smart. He has Asperger's. He actually talked about that on one of his YouTube things, but he has millions and millions of views. But he likes to break down things in a really informative and humorous ways on his YouTube channel. I think it's called Because Science with Kyle Hill. But that dude, I was watching, what kind of got me started was why you don't want super strength, why you don't want super speed, why you don't want invisibility. Like he did episodes based on each one of these. And then he talked about, the rules that you would have to have, like for flight, why you don't want flight. If you're traveling fast enough, a June bug can be a bullet, you know what I mean? Or a bird can explode you, plus the oxygen and the temperature. And, there's all these reasons why you don't want these superpowers. And as I was watching these, I was like, shit, okay. So then that's what I base Soul off of, is every power he has, there's a major consequence to it that he's going to have to learn to overcome. And it makes it more real. And it's a different take on the superhero thing. Cause I can't think of any superhero, not even the Hulk, that their strength is so much that they can't interact with, they can't pick up a cup or, open a door or what, the Hulk is probably the closest to it, but he doesn't, he can pick someone up because he does it all the time. Like I think in the comics and shows or whatever, and he doesn't just explode them into tiny little pieces. So I wanted Soul to have real life consequences. So I do a lot of research for my books. So that's a good question.
And you put some of those types of things in the series as well, because I mean the June bug, he's running at high speed and gets hit by a June bug. So
yeah, so I do love urban fantasy as a general. Tree? Oh yeah, Jello. What the Jello? Yeah, so he smacked into the tree, then Hadoukened it and broke it into little toothpicks because he was mad at the tree for his own ineptitudes. Oops. What else we got?
Personally, I don't believe in the writer's block phenomenon, but is that something you believe in?
No. No, because there's motivation though. Like I used to only write like 2 days a week because that's the days I felt motivated. And whenever I feel motivated is when I come up with my best work. And I didn't try and force it. Like I would just wake up and be like, not today. And then, I wouldn't do it. And then on days I felt motivated, like that's all I would do all day. But now that I have the 2 new series and like the pressure's on, it's self-put pressure, but I have multiple expectations, right? People are expecting things from me. And it's a good time to really explode my name. The exponential growth of success.
Right.
I'm at that hill. I'm at that crest. So I got to work for it. Now I'm writing like 4 or 5 days a week, consistently, and I have to send a text to some of my friends like, "Hey man, sorry I haven't talked to you in a while. I still love you." That kind of thing. But they all get it. I have awesome friends that all understand that I'm really pushing hard. So I don't believe in writer's block. I just believe in some days you're not motivated. Like if you're sick, it's hard to do anything, right?
Right.
Or if you didn't get enough sleep, if there's an outside stressor in your life, that you have to deal with, then, it makes it really difficult to write because your brain's just like, what about this thing that is really stressful? So I've never had like really writer's block. I've taken, some time off to wait until I felt the motivation. But yeah, just in general, I do pretty good. Very
Nice.
lucky.
This person says the priest has one of my all favorite lines about drowning children.
So what it is in book 1, when John is talking to Father Thomas, because John makes a big mistake. He almost dies, and he makes a mistake in his bloodlust. And Father Thomas is talking to him about it and basically criticizing him that, you're a monster, basically. How could you have done that? And John says, how about I throw you and a small child into the churning ocean with a tattered life vest, and we'll see what decisions a drowning man makes.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, when I wrote that, like it gave me goosebumps, because that is the perfect, for people who don't understand monsters, such as vampires and,
Right.
and the werewolves and stuff, who have that darker side in them. They don't understand what it's like. So that was just like the perfect explanation, if you will, to help him understand, like, if you're dying, you do what you got to do.
Yeah. And it's a scene that I think when Luke read it, was really well done, where at the end you're like, God, you feel bad for someone, but who do you really like? I feel like I felt embarrassed on behalf of, and I can't remember his name, the priest. I felt embarrassed for him.
Right. Yeah. Because how could he know?
Right. Let's see here. Do you write your books that are in a series with the idea that they would be able to stand on their own without having, I'm assuming they mean without having to have read previous books? So can somebody jump in on book 3 and read it and stand alone?
They are not episodic. They are series based. I did that intentionally. Now the short stories I did, like in Simple Deeds, which is the story that Justin Leslie, C.T. Phipps, Devin Hansen, and myself all put. I'm looking at it right up there. Okay. Signed copies. Signed copies. I don't even have my website, and they're sitting there. I need to put them up. But the stories I put in there were episodic. So if you read it, like one of them is John and Depweg are in World War II, and they're hunting Hitler, and it's called the Happy Time Hitler Hunt. And it's mostly humorous, but it also showcases their powers and, what their goals are and things like that. So that one is completely episodic. But no, you can't just pick up on the series at book 5 and really understand what's going on. I do, however, every handful of books or so, I'll put a let's remember what happened, because I know people forget, right? They read 20 books, and so I'll put like a little brief history of what happened, because I wish other people would do that, because I forget. Excuse me.
Yeah, no problem. We're not recording the podcast, so I'm cool with that.
Ate my Panda Express. It's delicious.
Let's see here. Any plans? Justin's Leslie posted this one. Any plans on the audiobook for the new superhero series? Any preferences?
So I don't want to say too much, but I've already reached out to a Twitch streamer that I really like called Spooky Loops. He plays Dead by Daylight.
Okay. He's
one of the bigger ones. He has over 1,000 people watch him play, but he's really funny and he has that voice. And he's mentioned on stream that he's tried to get into voiceover work before. So I sent him a script, and he said he would love to audition for it. So I think it'd be awesome if I could get him, because he has a lot of talent, a lot of energy in his streams, and he's really funny too. I think his sense of humor and my own. Really not clash, mesh. So we'll see. But honestly, at the end of the day, it'll also Rhett will have some commentary. I think ultimately it's my decision, as the contract states, but at the same time, I trust Rhett. He's one of the guys that he'll tell me what I don't want to hear, and I respect the hell out of that. One reason I signed with him. And so if he says like we need to do this or this, then we'll go with that. So as much as I like Spooky Loops, if he can't commit to a series, or because he's becoming huge on Twitch, right? So if he can't commit to it or something along those lines, then we'll have to go somewhere else. But for the sci-fi thriller though, Podium asked me, and I said, as I'm writing the story, I hear Zachary Quinto.
Oh, he's great.
Dude, he does some killer audiobooks, right? He is amazing. Does that mean I'll get him? Maybe. He does audiobooks, and Podium's one of the biggest ones out there, one of the biggest publishers. So it's very possible we could get Zachary Quinto. It's also depending on his schedule, because he's filming a movie that could be months and months, and we don't want to wait that long, right? But something along those lines I think would be really good. Then again, it might be a complete surprise. Like I wanted R.C. Bray for my series, but then Luke Daniels, like, he is the voice, right? So that worked out perfectly.
Right.
So Podium is very hands-on when it comes to their narrators. Like, apparently I have to give them like a whole list of things to look for, and then they'll find like the right person for the job.
Justin Leslie just said, I know a guy. His name's Jarrett Lemaster.
Oh yeah. So he does his zombie series.
Yep.
And the Shattered series, and it's his voice is really good too. Like Justin was talking
we
about
had Jared on the podcast too, and he was really amazing. For those that haven't listened to the other episodes, now that we're done recording it, go back and listen to some of the other ones, because Luke Daniels, Jarrett Lemaster, some awesome stuff. But yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm reading some of the questions too. Yeah. Someone knows Spooky Loops. Yeah.
That's one of my mods is like, I love that guy. Let's see. If I had known you can just write in your friends, I would have done that years ago.
Yeah, that's the best part is you get your friends' approval, and that's it. It just has to be approval. Like that, no contracts, no nothing. As long as you don't, make them, child murdering. You don't disparage their character, as what my lawyer said, but it really helps to have your characters and their mannerisms. Except for in the case of Depweg and Valenta, I had to dial them back from 10 to 2 because you would not believe my friends, okay? Like they are nothing, they're nothing like they are in the books, except for like the base mannerisms. Like Depweg was a Marine. He is insanely buff, and he knows a lot about tactical this, and he knows how to fix things, and he's very oriented like that. So I took a lot of those aspects of him and left out all of his weirder quirks, because honestly, man, if I wrote Depweg and Valenta like they are, people would be like, these characters are outlandish. I can't believe anything these these are not real characters. You'd have
and
to.
Meanwhile, you're like, they're real. They're right here. They're real.
Yes. You have no idea.
Did you put yourself in there at all?
No.
Or are you like, I'm the author, I'm not going to put myself in there as a character?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I try to be. It's weird for me. I guess I don't want to be narcissistic kind of thing, which
Yeah.
is, I know it's silly though. You can put yourself in, I know me better than anyone else, right? So it makes sense. But I don't know, it just kind of feels weird if the and then, he's 6'2", 270 pounds of rock hard muscle with the beard that made everyone, and that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'd be like, he had a dad bod. Just imagine the rest. But now, um, I am John though. John and I grew up together. We heavily influenced each other, more so him influencing me. Um, and in the books, whenever he gets mad and aggressive, um, and that line, like, let's throw you into ocean and see what a decisions drowning man makes. That's more me.
Okay.
And then John was more the, he can be depressed sometimes and let things weigh on him that I don't let things weigh on me. So actually the character John in the books is a really good amalgamation of us both.
Okay.
But we were like 90% the same person anyway, so it makes it easy.
Yeah. Cool. Here's a question. I hate Ulrich, but any plans to eventually do his backstory? Not to mention why John is the last vampire.
Yes. I just have to put it in tastefully. I don't like to do short stories as much. At least important things like that I know readers really want to see, kind of thing. Because I don't buy Jim Butcher's short stories. I don't listen to the Iron Druid short stories. And those are like my two favorite series, right?
Right.
So if I don't like it, then why would someone else, that's just how I do things. Now, I might put something in one of the final 4 books that showcases more of his history. Because he does have a very interesting history. You learn about when he was made by his maker, Cimmeri's, and then why they were made. And that thing about him and the Danish army, like destroying, I think for every one farmer with pitchforks, there was 10 geared soldiers, and the farmers were able to defeat the invaders. That's a real thing in history that made me go, what? No way. No way. There's something there. Someone had a machine gun or something.
Right.
So I actually do that a lot. A lot of the history I put in my books is real. Like for Joey and Dawson, when they were first made back in the 80s, it was a real hotel fire that happened. And so I just kind of but it was also far enough back that I didn't think it was out of taste. It was, a long time ago kind of thing. So I didn't have problems taking artistic liberties on a real tragedy that happened. But it really did happen. And so I built around that. Same thing with the army thing when Ulrich was made. And, that's a good question. I really should do that, because I have it in my head. I know it happens, and it's fucking cool.
Nice.
Oh, wait, is this an adult stream?
It's whatever you want.
Okay.
We had Matt Forbeck on not long ago, and he was like, "Can I drop F-bombs every other line?" And I was like, "Sure, I can't stop you. I won't edit it out." Well, I think there's a lot of comments and a lot of people chatting with each other.
Yeah, I see that.
A lot of people coming from your community, it looks like, which I welcome them all.
I do have a pretty active community. Yeah. That's one thing Rhett was saying. So like my fans are awesome, but I have to prove everyone who comes into our private group though. So, or me or Paige or Leslie does. So make sure that they're real people and that they're cool.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's find someone to raid. How's that sound? Unless people have other questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna let Hunter go. Is there anyone that you like, Hunter? Is there anyone that streams that's on right now that you like? We could go say hi to them for you on behalf of you.
No, none of the guys I follow is on. Wow. What time is it? 7? That's weird. Yeah, I like Otstarva, Spooky Loops, Ensim. There's a lot of guys that I watch. But no one's on.
All right, then we're just gonna raid another podcast. Fort of Nerd is on.
Let's do it.
They do a lot of superhero review, talking about movies, stuff like that. So they are streaming. They are good. So everybody, thank you very much for hanging out with us. Thanks for listening to the podcast. If you want to listen to the actual edited podcast version, which we probably won't need to do a whole heck of a lot of editing, that will be live tomorrow, roughly around 10 p.m. or 10 a.m. Central Daylight Time, depending on your time zone. So thank you all for coming. If you enjoyed hanging out, if you want to see more episodes, if you want to see more other stuff, we do all kinds of stuff here. So go ahead and drop a follow. And thank you, Hunter, for hanging out with us. I appreciate your time. And I look forward to maybe getting you and Luke and Justin all on at the same time. Maybe we can
you'll have to come
just hang
come
out
to Florida.
Just hang out and talk video games and stuff. But yeah, and if you guys are in Florida or going to be down there for that convention, make sure to go say hi to them.
Hell yeah. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for coming, guys.
Have a great one, guys. Take care and good night.